I'm not training with the mentality, that I'm getting ready, to fight an icon, fight a legend. At the end of the day, he's just another man.
Ever wondered what happens when a battle-worn legend, who's defied the years and outrun time itself, dares to step back into the ring? Can a warrior shaped by decades of pain and triumph still conquer a rising star in his prime?
Fight for my title. He's going in there trying to, take my title, and I gotta do it.
From the moment news dropped that Manny Pacquiao would step into the ring against Mario Barrios, the boxing world froze. Two fighters from different eras, one, a living legend, chasing one last blaze of glory. The other, a rising contender, hungry to carve his legacy, collided in a clash fueled by fate and fire. The stakes, nothing less than history. And when Roy Jones Jr., a boxing icon in his own right, shared his verdict, fans everywhere tuned in. In this fast-paced, sharp breakdown, we'll unpack the training whispers, legendary takes, and the exact blueprint Roy believes will decide it all.
I would not be able to take credit for beating Pacquiao after he got knocked out by Marquez, because that's not the same Pacquiao.
Roy Jones Jr. knows power. He's lived it, delivered it, and respected those who wield it well. Watching Manny Pacquiao train at 46, Roy isn't seeing a retired legend chasing a check, he's seeing a predator chasing history. Pacquiao movements are sharp and elusive, like a hummingbird with bad intentions. He vanishes behind feints, then reappears with lightning strikes faster than Mario Barrios can react. Roy notes something rare. Most fighters lose their legs before their hands, but Manny's legs still fire like pistons, generating torque that fuels those bone-rattling shots. Barrios isn't just fighting, he's facing a storm of experience, speed, and ring IQ. The strategy is simple but brutal. Cut off the ring, force Barrios to exchange, and detonate that signature left before the younger man can reset. But Barrios isn't just a name on a comeback poster. He's a man on a mission, rebuilt from adversity, rising through the ranks with hard-earned wins. His trainer, Bob Santos, has fine-tuned his jab into a spear measured, sharp, and confident. Barrios throws combinations like puzzles, each piece setting up the next. But Roy's seen the other side too. The cockiness of youth. The flesh. In sparring footage, Barrios unleashed 40 punches in 4 seconds, but Roy also saw reckless moments. Punches thrown too wide, too fast. That's the kind of mistake Pacquiao turns into a headline. Roy warns, Barrios must slow the pace, control distance with the jab, and fight smart. Because if he gets greedy, he won't just lose, he might become the latest victim of Manny's timeless brilliance.
That's top of his game. But in society today, we'll call that person the best fighter ever.
But let's be clear, this isn't a runway show. This is war. And in Manny Pacquiao's camp, the mood is electric. Leaked gym footage shows him thrashing the heavy bag, gliding through shadowboxing with the fluidity of his prime, and cracking focus mitts like a spring ready to snap. Critics point to the obvious. Slower reflexes, aging eyes. Roy Jones Jr. doesn't flinch. Power's the last thing to go, he says. Like a fine scotch, it only gets sharper with age. In Pacquiao, the essentials remain untouched. Speed, timing, that eerie sixth sense only the greats possess. Roy recalls sparring back in the Robert Guerrero days. He felt Manny's power then, and it hasn't changed. If Roy's gut is right, Barrios could be drowning by round 5. It's one legend handing the torch to another. Roy, the fighter of the 90s. Manny, the face of the 2000s. But not everyone's convinced. Voices from the sport's elder statesmen add fire to the debate. Juan Manuel Marqueza, last man to drop Pacquiao, warns that no amount of discipline can fully silence old injuries and worn joints. Still, he concedes that Manny's devotion to training has likely preserved his knockout touch. Teddy Atlas, never one to sugarcoat, paints a grim picture. No matter how sharp he looks, a 46-year-old body is a graveyard of bruises and fractures. Roy responds with cold logic. Even a 26-year-old gets his lights turned off with the wrong punch. The bottom line: age means nothing to a fighter who understands the price. And Manny Pacquiao, more than anyone, knows what it costs to be great.
When that's not how that goes. That's not reality. But in
Barrios fans carry their own brand of hope. Sean Porter praises his physical prime but admits it could be a double-edged sword, calling Barrios tailor-made to walk straight into Pacquiao's traps and pay for every mistake. Amir Khan highlights the danger of ring rust, noting Manny's long layoff could dull his instincts, but he also warns that one clean Barrios shot could flip the entire script. Behind closed doors, matchmakers whisper about a tantalizing possibility. If Manny wins, could a Pacquiao Weather sequel finally materialize? Networks would pounce. Roy Jones Jr. just laughs. If Pacquiao stops Barrios, he says, the whole world's going to line up for his next move. But Roy isn't blinded by drama. While the media churns out clickbait, Barrios to Richthofen, Pacquiao's age crisis, he sees through the noise. He knows this isn't just a slugfest, it's chess at 100 miles per hour. Victory won't come from brute force alone. It'll be won through timing, intelligence, and endurance. For Pacquiao, that means sticking to the brutal simplicity of his old school routine. 5 a.m. road work, jump rope marathons, relentless MIT work. For Barrios' success hinges on balancing leashing explosive offense while maintaining sharp defense. He'll need head movement, smart angles, and a jab stiff enough to keep Pacquiao from walking through him. Roy's advice: take your shots when they're there, but don't chase a knockout. Outbox him, be smarter, because once the hype fades and the bell rings, it's not a headline that wins, it's the better man.
Fighter of the decade 1990s, passing on the torch to Manny Pacquiao, fighter of the 2000s.
Training camps have become battlegrounds of attrition, where every drop of sweat inches a fighter closer to destiny. For Manny Pacquiao, preparation is still forged in fiery morning runs up unforgiving hills. Endless rounds of shadowbox until his arms burn, and mid-sessions so sharp they slice through air like blades. His methods are steeped in tradition, rooted in a mindset where pain is the price of greatness. Barrios, on the other hand, embraces the science of the modern era. His heart rate is tracked by biometric sensors. He wears altitude masks to simulate the thin air of mountain peaks. Slow-motion video captures every twitch of his body, broken down frame by frame like a digital textbook. It's a clash of philosophies, tradition versus technology, old-school grit versus new-school precision, and both men believe their path forges the sharper blade. In truth, neither corner fully rejects the other. Pacquiao's camp now blends timeless grind with strategic innovations. Barrios still trains hard, blending analytics with real sweat. The lines blur. When the ring doors close, it won't be tech or tradition that decides the outcome, it'll be willpower and execution. Even nutrition has evolved into a battleground. Pacquiao sticks to the basics. Lean meats, brown rice, vegetables, the same fuel that powered him through his prime. Barrios, meanwhile, sips protein shakes, pops energy gels, and plunges into cryotherapy chambers to accelerate recovery. Critics argue that too much science can dull toughness, while others warn that clinging to the past risks leaving performance gains on the table. The truth lies somewhere in between. The edge belongs to those who strike the right balancers, what worked yesterday, cautiously embracing what may work tomorrow, and never mistaking hype for results.
Any advice tonight for him?
Just be smart. Don't get overly aggressive. Try to be smart with your aggression.
Psychological warfare now begins long before the first bell waged on social media, where trash talk and meme battles flicker like sparklers before the main event. But for Manny Pacquiao, legacy speaks louder than tweets. He doesn't need to trade barbs online. His statements come through footwork, angles, and vanishing acts that leave opponents swinging at air. Barrios, meanwhile, leans into the digital era, posting sharp pad work, shredded abs, and cryptic captions aimed at fans and foes alike. It's bravado in pixels, a public flex meant to rattle confidence before a single punch is thrown. Roy Jones Jr. finds it all amusing. He knows the truth. Intimidation isn't built on likes or hashtags, it's forged in that silent moment when gloves touch and leather meets bone. Confidence is a fragile thing. One clean counter, and it shatters like glass. In the end, all the noise fades when the bell rings. Hype, swagger, and online firestorms mean nothing if you can't survive the storm inside the ropes.
With your aggression. Take your shots when you can, but don't go out there to just quickly knock him out. Just outbox him like you did last time. When you get
Coaches are the chess masters behind the war, orchestrating each move from the quiet tension of the neutral corner. Freddie Roach stands as the old guard, stoic, relentless, a living bridge to Pacquiao's golden years. For him, every drill, every second of rest, is calculated not just for fitness, but for legacy. Across the ring, Bob Santos leads Barrios' camp with clinical precision. He blends strategy with intensity, crafting a fighter who's both physically ruthless and tactically sharp. The respect between these two corner generals is real. They've exchanged nods at weigh-ins, silently acknowledging the weight of preparation and the toll of late-night sessions. But when the bell rings and their fighters clash, courtesy is left outside the ropes. In that moment, it's not about mutual respect, it's about survival. No handshakes, just hard truths.
You guys that I give more credit to than most people.
right.
I saw this guy fighting at 135. How do you fight him at
He turned the corner into both sanctuary and strategy, room a place where in the frantic 3-minute intervals, chaos gives way to clarity. Ice packs cool the fire, water steadies the breath, and every word from cutman and assistants becomes fuel for the soul. In Pacquiao's corner, the message is calm and precise. Protect the body. Choose your shots. Exploit Barrios' split-second hesitations. Across the ring, Barrios absorbs a different rhythm. His team drills mantras into his mind: jab first, plant your feet, close the distance. It's pressure with a purpose. Roy Jones Jr. likens corner advice to jazz-structured rhythm, guiding spontaneous brilliance. And when both men return to center ring, they carry that corner wisdom with them, not just a strategy, but a sacred belief. In the glow of the lights, those words become weapons.
168? Right. You understand me? And he's still dangerous at 160. He ain't just no fight.
Fan culture turns this fight into more than just a sporting event. Tit becomes a global spectacle, a collision of hope, pride, and fear. Ringside transforms into a carnival of flags and chants. Filipino colors wave beside American stars and Mexican stripes, forming a vibrant mosaic of allegiance. Barrios' supporters chant for the future, for youth and speed, convinced that the age of legends has passed. Pacquiao's faithful fire back with chants of belief, certain that heart, experience, and pride can still conquer time. Both camps bring memories of glory nights and heartbreak sand. They flood social media with predictions, prayers, and heated debates. The energy builds, buzzing louder with each hour, until it peaks in a moment of perfect stillness, when the gloves finally touch and silence hangs in the air. Behind the spectacle, another battle unfolds. Promoters and networks run the numbers. Pay-per-view buys, ticket demand, streaming traffic. A Pacquiao victory could ignite rematch fever, with whispers of a Mayweather sequel echoing in boardrooms. But if Barrios pulls off the upset, it shatters the script, reshaping rankings, storylines, and the sport's immediate future. This is where finance meets folklore. Executives bet on legacy or fresh blood. But in the end, money doesn't make a warrior great. For legends like Pacquiao, never been about checks or contracts. It's about pride, purpose, and chasing something eternal, greatness itself.
Because he gonna get you if you ain't careful. If you ain't on your A game, he gonna ask Dana Rosenblatt. Who wasn't nothing on your A game?